Warframe in 2023. Where else can you be a ninja jumping, gigaboss hunting, spacefaring weapon of energy and destruction? Fear me, space enemies, I am unstoppable. Any second now. I've got to be doing something wrong. I don't remember this being that hard. Okay, maybe not totally unstoppable. Warframe is developed by Digital Extremes and is a free-to-play third-person shooter RPG. It's also multiplayer and online. Warframe was initially launched in 2013 on PC and has also been released on PlayStation, Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch. It's cross-platform, so you can play with friends regardless of what platform they play on. I've been recommending this game as a must-try in all my top 10 free-to-play lists since I last played it. But how is it held up? What is the state of the game now? Now felt like the perfect time to revisit it to find out, because Warframe just added its most massive expansion to date, the Duviri Paradox. Speaking of, shout out to Digital Extremes for sponsoring this video and giving me the freedom to discuss the game as I saw fit. You can join me and play the game for free right now by clicking the link down in the description below. Alright, Warframe in 2023. At last, we meet again. The last time I played you, I got lost in a tornado of planet-hopping, loot-collecting mania. I simultaneously had no idea what I was doing and enjoyed the heck out of every second of it. My return to Warframe in 2023 felt familiar, but also pleasantly different. The staggering amount of content and updates still being poured into this game on a regular basis is something that makes even subscription-based MMOs squirm with envy. Warframes work a bit like classes in other MMOs, and this game now has over 50 Warframes and counting.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on!
When you start the game, you are now presented with two options, the Duviri Paradox or the original solar system. Now, the Duviri Paradox was a massive departure from the normal formula for Warframe. Rather than hopping from planet to planet like you normally do when you start, if you choose the Duviri path, you will end up adventuring through a massive open world that turns the game into a roguelike. What does that mean? Well, as you quest or adventure through the zone, you will constantly be completing objectives and unlocking decrees. Decrees are buffs that you can stack on your character while you are in the Duviri Paradox. The longer you stay there, the more decrees you unlock, and the stronger you get. You get some insanely powerful buffs in here, such as one that increases your move speed by 10% for each decree found. You will be zooming to the point where eventually your mount might even actually slow you down if you get on it. The mount will still have its purposes, because sometimes flying is just more useful than running, no matter how fast you are.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You'll have three options before you when you head to Duviri: the Duviri Experience, the Lone Story, and the Circuit. Personally, my favorite was the Duviri Experience. It lets you basically do all of the things. There's a main quest and a tutorial that leads you through the zone. There's deep lore, voice acting, the full gamut. You can do the main objectives or deviate to do the side objectives. You can explore, earn collectibles, fight a field boss, and look for a secret merchant to buy resources, arcanes, and more. The Circuit, on the other hand, is great for quick, endless events. This mode puts you in your Warframe to farm augments, arcanes, and the current weekly rotation of Warframes. And then there's a harder version, known as Steel Path, where you get access to the incarnate adapter forms. That pretty much sums up the Duviri Paradox path. It's a massive, new, open world option for you to engage in every time you log into Warframe, whether you're brand new to the game or a longtime veteran. Then there's the original path, which is the other 95% of the game. I jumped into this as well while waiting for Duviri Paradox to release to see how it has held up. Warframe starts out with some of the most impressive opening cinematics of any game out there. It wastes absolutely no time getting you hooked on the game that is about to come. I made a fresh account for this video to get the unadulterated 2023 new player experience, so the first thing I had to do was choose my Warframe. I went with Volt because I wanted to see how a magic-leaning Warframe felt in a first-person looter shooter. Volt specializes in the dark side. That is, he shoots lightning from his hands. There is plenty of customizing you can do once you make it into the game. You can equip different Warframes and collect different dyes to go from a basic Warframe that looks like this, all the way to something that looks a lot more personally customized, like this, or this. The game begins. I go full Darth Vader on the first few enemies I encounter, and it feels good. The next choice I have to make is between a bow staff or a sword. I went with a sword last time, so this time I'm gonna go with the massive stick. Look at this thing. I can't wait to shove this up someone's. Volt felt great right off the bat, but I could feel that thick layer of rust all over me. I could remember how my character was supposed to move through the game, bullet jumping from one place to the next, but my hands couldn't quite pull it off yet. After smacking a few enemies, I'm presented with another choice, a rifle or a bow, the bow being labeled as the stealth option. I've never been one for hiding from the enemy. I'm much more of an enemy that you hear coming from 3 miles away, so I went with the rifle. Regardless of how rusty I was feeling at the mobility, the gunplay felt excellent. I swear they do something in this game to make you feel like you have godlike aim. Move over, Shroud. If you've ever played an FPS before or felt like your aim was bad, try this game. I don't know why, but my aim in Warframe is infinitely better than any other game. Ah, yes, my nemesis, the hardest part of Warframe. I adeptly walk up to my first hack and it turns out I totally forgot how to do this. As rough as that hack was, in no time I'd be doing them like this. Yeah, so I don't suck at them forever. I just wanted you to know that. I'm not awful at video games. Usually. Just as the Duviri Paradox has a new tutorial built into it, this path has an intro as well. And this intro didn't exist the last time I played Warframe. It has seamlessly taught me how to use my abilities, how to use my gun and my melee weapon. It taught me that I can destroy grates to crawl through vents, and it did it all without me even realizing that I was being tutorialed, which means it was an absolutely perfectly executed tutorial. Next, I find the first mini-boss, who seems to have one purpose: teach you to master your mobility skill. Every time you attack him, he teleports to the other side of the arena, running from me faster than I run from my responsibilities. Fair enough, I was rusty and needed the practice anyways. Eventually, I end up on my ship. Your ship in Warframe is your hub, it's your home, and it's the best staying home you can have in any game. Now, hear me out. First of all, it's a spaceship, so it's automatically epic. Second of all, it has tons of stations inside that you can unlock to give you access to all kinds of crazy powerful tools. There's your map quest hub up front that lets you choose what planet to go to next. You also unlock access to a trading post where you can trade with other players. You unlock a crafting station that lets you craft any blueprints that you find while out on your missions. These blueprints can be all sorts of things, from companions to entirely new warframes, to rifles, to shotguns or katanas, or nearly any other weapon you can imagine. Oh, and we can't forget the mod station. The way you make your character unique is through mods that you slot into your armor, your weapons, and your companions. You can equip mods into almost anything, and they can greatly amplify a certain type of elemental damage or melee damage, or you can go for more defensive mods by choosing ones that increase your health or your energy shields. And these are just the basic options. There are tons of crazy mod options in this game, but that's not all. There's even a station on this ship where I can incubate pets so that I can forget I don't have any friends. Who's a good boy?
What the hell is even that?
And of course, there's a place where you can choose your Warframe. By the way, did I mention there are over 50 Warframes for you to collect, modify, and upgrade? Oh, I did? Okay, well, it's impressive, so I think it's worth mentioning twice. On top of that, you can level up all of these things, each Warframe, each weapon, and your pets by having them equipped when you kill stuff. Want to level up your sword? Equip it. Want to level up your bow? Equip it. Want to level up your girlfriend? Wait, sorry, never mind. Unfortunately, there's still no equipable girlfriends in Warframe. Unless... There are also 3 doors on the back of the ship that you will eventually unlock to find secrets on the other side as you progress through the game, but I won't spoil that for you. But you want to know what's on the other side, don't you? All this to say, the ship kicks tail, and unlocking all of these bays and stations is one of my favorite things about the game. And don't worry, you unlock these one at a time, so you never feel overwhelmed. The game does an excellent job of drip feeding you these systems in a very natural way so that you can learn how to use them as you go. In spite of that, Warframe is a massive game, so don't feel bad if you end up confused from time to time. That's totally normal, and the community is really good about helping when you have a question. Now that you understand why this spaceship is the coolest home you can have in any game, let's continue our journey. I jumped straight into my first quest and beat some bad guy booty. I'm feeling good when I notice some free Prime loot. What? Warframe is giving you Octavia for free? All you have to do is connect Prime? I have never stolen my mom's Prime account so fast. Done. The last time I played Warframe, Octavia was brand new. It destroyed enemies with what was essentially a walking boombox that played music. Yes, I'm being serious. This time, people can create their own custom songs or import existing songs that you've probably heard before. It's wild, but unfortunately, I'm lazy and not talented enough to do any of that, so I'm going to enjoy the default song, which happens to be a banger. Like any Prime Gaming offer, this will eventually expire, so don't sleep on it if you want it. Octavia is quite the grind to unlock normally. So, I switched to Octavia instantly. I'll miss Volt and its magic, but No, that's a lie. I won't miss Bolt at all. Octavia's just too damn fun. Next, the game sends me to an open world zone called the Plains of Eidolon. And this is new. All of a sudden, the game feels like an MMO. I'm in an open world zone instead of a linear series of corridors on spaceships. I'm walking around other players and NPCs in a large town. This has got to be what inspired these same devs to start working on an MMORPG they're calling Warframe. Details on the new MMORPG are light, but it's using the same engine as Warframe and takes place in a different setting. But that is a story for another video, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you're alerted when I post it. This open world portion of the game was epic. You can meet up with other players in town, you can grab quests from the NPCs there, and then head out into the plains. If you want, the game will automatically pair you with other people to play with while you're out on the plains. While I was out there, I kept getting attacked by these pesky flying enemies. I mean, they were relentless. I wanted nothing more to exact my revenge on every single one of them and their families. Sorry, too far. But I couldn't help but think it would be so cool if the game would let me jump into their flying vehicles and destroy every single one of them. And then this happened. And this was the moment I fell in love with the open world content in Warframe. But it's not just jumping in vehicles. You can go on hunts where you join up with a ton of other players to take down a massive enemy for some big loot, and so that's exactly what I did. I was still learning the ropes, but the people around me were quick to res me when I got knocked down. After this humbling experience, I went back to clearing the solar system, clearing one planet, then defeating the boss at the junction so that I could unlock the next planet. There's something so fundamentally satisfying about this process. Now, you might be asking, what is the endgame in Warframe? Well, that definitely depends who you ask. To some, it's collecting and maxing out all of the Warframes and weapons. To others, it's about clearing the map. And others, still, it's a little thing the community refers to as fashion frame. It took me a few hours, but eventually I would discover the appearance section of Warframe. I would mix and match colors like a 5-year-old who just discovered crayons, and it would be amazing. I might have splurged and bought a cosmetic or 2 or 3. I just wanted to be pretty. So I unlocked some dye packs as well. I needed bright colors, and then I needed white and black to go with those colors because that's how I roll. As hard as I try, every outfit I make and every game I play ends up being white or black mixed with a pop color. I'm not ashamed, but I'm honest. Anyways, you get a ton of control over the appearance of everything. Your Warframe, of course, but also your weapons, your companion, and even your ship. And just like that, I came to accept it. I was definitely a fashion frame endgame kind of guy. It's beautiful. Now, I love Octavia, but in one of my games I saw this other character called Revenant, and this dude has fire radiating from his body, so obviously I have to try him. This is the Warframe your girlfriend tells you don't need to worry about. Yep, it's official. Revenant is amazing. Revenant is what you get if you combined a helicopter propeller with an elemental storm. He brings new meaning to the term spin to win. After spending a little while upgrading my Warframe, Revenant melted everything in my path. I also had the ability to teleport through enemies to steal their shields and their life, and a couple of other abilities, but I would have to stop talking about this skill to tell you about those ones. So yeah. So how is Warframe in 2023? I think it's safe to say it's better than it's ever been. It was amazing the last time I played it, and now it's just got more content, more polish, and an entirely new starting option for getting new players into the game. It boasts a larger Steam population than most of the big MMORPGs, peaking at over 115,000 concurrent players online at once, and that was just Steam alone. That number didn't include Xbox, PlayStation, or the Switch player base. This game is not only massive, but it's also massively popular, and after playing it, it's easy to see why. It's simply a ton of fun and so satisfying to jump into the game. It's easy to pick up and play it for 1 hour, 1 day, or 1 week anytime I want. There is no subscription or daily that I felt like I had to do or else I'd fall behind the community. None of that. Just pick it up and play whenever I feel like. This means you have time to play this game and live a life outside of the game. Yeah, like have a girlfriend or a job or do chores and clean dishes and pay bills. I'm definitely going to do all of those things, and I'm definitely not going to log right back into Warframe when I'm done with this video because I'm definitely not addicted. Definitely not. I think Duviri Paradox is going to be a great entry point for new players, especially players that are more drawn to the open world games. It's also going to be great for veterans as it provides an entirely new way for them to farm out materials and Warframes. Of course, this video is sponsored, but as I mentioned, I had been recommending Warframe to people for years prior to them ever reaching out and offering me a sponsored video. So I can assure you, all of my feedback in this video is genuine. So download the game for free right now by clicking the link in the description below. You won't regret it. Plus, it's literally free, so you have nothing to lose. And if you use my code, you get special goodies. And if you connect your Prime, you get Octavia. It's literally the best time ever to start playing Warframe. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. I literally couldn't do this without you, so massive, massive thank you. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, a comment, or possibly even subscribing so that the YouTube algorithm knows to show this to more people. It really does help, and I read every single comment. No joke. Massive shout out to my YouTube members for supporting the channel in the big way that you do. If you want to become a YouTube member for behind the scenes footage, exclusive access to a members only Discord channel, and more, hit the join button down below. And if you're not sure what to do next, maybe watch one of these other amazing videos popping up on the screen right now.